Okay, so what is on the agenda for today? Let's see. Oh, California prosecutors warn of release of 7 high-risk sex offenders. Found my video for the day. You can always depend on California news to give you something just juicy for the day. Okay, so the California governor is Governor Newsom, and I guess Gavin Newsom, which I feel like is a musical artist. Gavin Newsom. Gavin DeGraw. Not the same thing, but close enough. So basically, this is the article. Prosecutors in Orange County, California on Tuesday, April 28th, issued a warning to the public about the release of 7 sex offenders in 21 days. So they're preparing the public for these public offenders. Some who spent only days behind bars despite being accused of cutting off their GPS monitors. They had GPS monitors on them? My Lord. In a news release, the district attorney's office said the 7 registered sex offenders with crimes ranging from indecent exposure to sexual battery to child molestation were released beginning April 7th after rulings by the court commissioner. Per state law, the Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes on March 27th announced the release of a limited number of Orange County jail inmates prior to the conclusion of their sentence to mitigate the spread of COVID. At the end of March, the sheriff's office noted, at this time, Sheriff Don Barnes is limiting releases to low-level offenders with less than 10 days remaining in their sentence and inmates who are medically vulnerable as defined by the Centers for Disease Control. The release said one of the sex offenders, who was convicted of sexual battery, was released on April 7th after he was sentenced to time served in order to report to parole. Prosecutor said 2 weeks later he was in court on another parole violation and again sentenced to time served. He broke parole? Why would a sex offender break parole? You'd think that that's someone who respects the law. The release of these 7 registered sex offenders came as Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes reported to the county board on Tuesday the jail population had been reduced by nearly 45% since March 7th amid the coronavirus pandemic. That is what we should be focusing on during this time. I definitely think that the more important issue is COVID over child molesters who literally cut off their GPS monitors. Just try and comprehend this. These are people who need GPS monitors. And we think that they are less dangerous than COVID? I would 1,000,000 times over rather have COVID running rampant in my home or around my niece and nephew than I ever would letting a child molester. If you're just one of those indecent exposure guys, probably don't want you in my house either, you know? These kind of high-risk sex offenders are the most dangerous kind of criminal and the most likely to reoffend. True. These are not the kind of people who should be getting a break, said Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer. I think the, when we started saying, like wash your hands. Just wash your hands. When we were saying that, we were all on the same page, right? And some of you guys weren't washing your hands, okay? Some of you weren't washing your hands. Lesson learned, and you were ashamed of that, I hope. And now, you've gotten better about that. And then we were talking about the mask thing. Well, at one point we were saying masks didn't work, don't do anything with them, they're pointless. And then we decided that they did work and everyone needs to have one. I think that the whole back and forth is still going on with this whole COVID thing. But anyway, we decided to agree on the masks, most of us. And then we were like, don't travel in groups of 100 people. And we were like, okay, yeah, I get that. And then it's like, let all the sex offenders out. It's like, have we gone too far? Have we gone too far when we've decided that COVID-19, which 98% of the population is going to survive this? Do we think that we want to deal with that on its own and just worry about that? Or do we want to worry about that and the sex criminals, indecent exposure guys, the sexual battery guys, child molesters? The battles we are choosing, are these really the ones we want to fight right now? And when it comes to releasing child sex predators back into the public, I say yes. Pick this fight and fight it really hard. I would also like, before I end this video, to mention my sponsor. I do have a sponsor today. It is my lifeblood. Actually, Coke Zero. She just focusing on that bad boy there, Mr. Camcorder. Coke Zero has not actually, they haven't technically reached out to me yet, but I do drink them about 3 times a day. And I do know that they will probably give me cancer due to the fake, like the chemicals and stuff that they put in them. I am aware of that, but it's really good, and it doesn't make me bloat the same way regular Coke does, nor does it make me break out the same way on my face with pimples and stuff. So if Coke Zero, the carcinogen of the soda industry, wants to sponsor me, I'm all about it. I'm going to go ahead and just sponsor them myself. Please sponsor me.